What's up, Jared over here. Today we have the weekly setup review of AEW. We have Dynamite here this week. It was actually a pretty good show. Overall, technically, if you look at the whole show, there was not much on the show actually. So they started off the show with Orange Cassidy defended the international title against Darby Allin's wrestling buddy that he's wrestled with a long time. This guy's been wrestling on Dark and stuff, so it was just pretty much to put this guy over, to show him on live TV. Orange Cassidy, they actually put on a pretty good match, going back and forth. There's some crazy stuff. This guy did a crazy flip. I have him diving, but he actually did a crazy backflip outside of the ring on Orange Cassidy. It was really cool. But Orange Cassidy ended up winning, and this guy was technically a babyface. Afterwards, punched Orange Cassidy right in the face, and that looked like a real punch. So it was God dang. Dropped Orange Cassidy. Darby Allin comes out and pretty much yelling at him what the hell are you doing? And he starts pushing Darby Allin, and they're kind of just getting in an argument. I'm like, this is interesting. And I literally called it. I was saying, I bet so before I say what I guessed, Darby Allin had a match against Swerve that announced. I'm like, I bet this guy cost Darby the match, and we will find out right up next. But first, we had Tony Schiavone have a interview with Jack Perry. I don't know who's Jack Perry. Last week beat Hook for the FTW championship, Taz's championship that he created a long time ago in ECW. But he came out dragging the title like he doesn't care about it, and he pretty much said how this title is useless, but I'm gonna make it special and actually mean something, unlike what Taz and Hook and all of them have made it. And then after that was Adam Cole and MJF, Better Than You Baby, the tag team of them. I love this group together. They're so freaking good together. It's amazing, absolutely amazing comedy and everything. But they had a promo, and MJF, Adam Cole last week MJF got mad at Adam Cole because Adam Cole was holding the AEW title. He was like, why are you looking at it like that and stuff? But then Adam Cole's like, I'm sorry. He apologized, and he's like, I just was handed it to you, and I don't care about the title anymore. I just want to win the tag titles with you. You're my best friend. And then MJF's like, well, since you're my best friend ever. It was kind of cheesy with that, but whatever. He goes, even if we win the tag titles on Collision this weekend, I will give you a title opportunity, a rematch for the title. Either way, if we win or lose. So hopefully they win. But after the MJF said that, oh my gosh, sorry, I was drawing a blank. Roderick Strong came pushing, trying to attack MJF, who was apparently Adam Cole's best friend. But Adam Cole's starting to lean to be more closer with MJF. Roderick Strong and Adam Cole have been friends for a long time, going back NXT and all that stuff. But he pretty much is pushing MJF, and MJF is getting all pissed. But Adam Cole talks to Roderick Strong. He's like, "What the hell are you doing? And you're a brother to me. Why are you doing this?" And Roderick Strong trying to say Adam Cole's going crazy, pretty much trying to be friends with MJF. I have a feeling it's either because obviously they're definitely going to win the tag titles. I think because they're so over, definitely probably the most over tag team in AEW right now. They're definitely going to win the tag titles, in my opinion, this coming Saturday at Collision. And then whenever Adam Cole fights MJF for the AEW title, that he gets his rematch, either MJF is Adam Cole's gonna win, and MJF's gonna be mad, and then they break up as a group, which I really hope they don't go that route. What I hope is, I think Roderick Strong is gonna end up screwing over Adam Cole and costing him the title match, and then MJF and Adam Cole are gonna stay tag champs for a while and together, and eventually MJF or Adam Cole are gonna turn on each other, and the Adam Cole eventually will beat MJF for the title. But that's what my prediction is. I hope they do that. I hope Roderick Strong screws over Adam Cole for the title, so the world title when he fights MJF, so Adam Cole and MJF can stay together because they're just so freaking funny together. After that, Darby Allin and Swerve had a match. I know it's a Swerve figure, it's Xavier Woods, but I use him because he's got the kind of crazy hair like Swerve. Darby Allin almost won. It was a pretty good match, going back and forth, doing crazy things and everything. But like I called it, the guy that was friends with Darby Allin that had a match with Orange Cassidy, I forgot his name, cost Darby Allin the match. The ref wasn't paying attention. He Darby Allin outside the ring and threw his head right into the post. Threw him back in the ring, swerved, hit his finisher, and 1, 2, 3. Swerve won, and this guy also joined Swerve's faction. Pretty cool. Just add another guy in Swerve's faction, like building up that group. After that, Britt Baker had a match against I forgot her name, but it's John Morrison's wife that I know. I know that's the only really thing I know about her. I don't really care about her because she's mainly wrestles on Dark and freaking Rampage. And obviously, it was actually not that bad of a match. Britt Baker won, but pretty boring. After that, FTR had a promo backstage, pretty much saying, Adam Cole, MJF, you guys might be some great friends, but we're still going to beat you, and whatever we have to do to win and retain our AEW tag titles. Pretty good promo between both these tag team groups. Had great promos backstage. That's why I have them in the front. Usually I have them by the stage for backstage promos, but they're such good groups, and I can't wait for this match in Collision on Saturday. After that, Pac had a match against a luchador guy called Gravity. I kind of thought that was funny, but they had a pretty good match going back and forth because Pac's such a crazy wrestler, and most luchador wrestlers that are on AEW are usually good wrestlers. This guy's kind of like now just apparently he's been wrestling on Dark and stuff, but he had a pretty good match against Pac, but I'm assuming he's kind of like doing the main roster stuff now that he's on. But whatever, these two put on a great match. I kind of have them mid doing a superplex off the top rope because that was one of the big parts of the match. I can't do it on the top rope because the figures won't stay, but I have them like that. And then Pac ended up tapping him out with his like submission lock and just kept on holding it in until the refs pulled him off. So that's just kind of making Pac look like absolutely dominating people. And I think he's just going to go on a streak of dominating people. I think he's going to end up fighting Claudio for his Ring of Honor title and beat him because last week in Blood and Guts, they were beefing if Pac just left the Blood and Guts cage. I feel like that's what they're going to end up building to. Next match was the main event. Actually, really good tag match. It was a 3-way tag match. It was Best Friends versus the Lucha Brothers versus Claudio and Jon Moxley. They all put on a crazy match. There was one part that they were, because AEW stage, there was the guys like here below the stage, and I think it was Trent, or it was Chuck. I think it was Chuck, or somebody. It was one of the guys from Best Friends. I want to say it was Trent, but I could be wrong. Jumped off and did like a crazy flip, and took everybody out on the stage. I made this part as like a pose. I thought this was crazy. Ray Phoenix did a tornado DDT with Claudio, but he ran and bounced off like using his feet off Trent and did a crazy tornado DDT. Absolutely insane. And Jon Moxley ended out earlier also after Orange Cassidy's match. Jon Moxley out of nowhere attacked him. I forgot to say this, and started beating the holy hell out of him and stuff, and pretty much just like made a statement. And then during this match, Orange Cassidy was on the ringside Best Friends, and Moxley ended up beating up again Orange Cassidy and strangling him by the barricade, and this ended up costing them the match, and the Lucha Brothers ended up winning, and Best Friends was like out cold or something. I can't remember what happened, but Claudio ended up getting pinned by Pentagon, and then after that I ended up turning into a brawl with Moxley, actually the whole Blackpool Combat Club besides Bryan Danielson because he's injured, Best Friends, including Orange Cassidy, and the Lucha Brothers. It was a huge brawl. I don't know what they're setting up with the Lucha Brothers. They didn't quite make sense but I understand like the Best Friends and Blackpool Combat Club fighting because I think Moxley's gonna end up fighting Orange Cassidy for the international title at All In and win the title and make that title skyrocket of being more important because it's Moxley. He's such an important wrestler. And next week for Dynamite is the 200th episode of AEW Dynamite, which will be a huge show, awesome show. They announced Pentagon versus Trent versus Moxley in a no-holds-bars match. That'll be absolutely insane. Chris Jericho was told by Don Callis that he's going to have a tag match against Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia, and he's going to find out who his tag partner is. I'm like, that'll be interesting because Jericho's with the Jericho Appreciation Society. I really hope Jericho doesn't go with Don Callis and like ends up, because he did say a while ago that he's going to recreate himself again and make the best version of Chris Jericho. I want him to go on his own, not be with the group anymore. No Inner Circle, no Jericho Appreciation Society, no Don Callis. I want him to be like on his own because he's never done that in AEW yet, so that'd be cool. But overall, the show was okay. Not the greatest Dynamite, but it was pretty good. I'm going to give it a solid 3 out of 5. pretty good show. But this is JRW. Make sure to like, subscribe, stay tuned for more wrestling figure content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.